welcome to this, the first annual Fannie Awards 2020. I'm DJ Gove.
Chris Davis.
Sean Hogarty. It's the end of 2020, finally.
Yeah.
The greatest year of all our lives.
The longest year. So we were thinking how we could kind of do an end of year wrap up thing for such a shitty year. So we figured we're going to do an award show style, quote unquote. So we came up with the Fannies, because as in
Fannies.
because every award has to end in E's, right? The
Right.
Slammies, the Emmys.
45 minutes of the hottest asses of 2020.
Yes, yes.
Woman I saw on the KFC drive-up.
Rather than wrap up the entire year, we're just going to randomly, summarize and appreciate some things as we close out the year.
Yeah, and in true fashion to us.
But you hate everything, Sean.
That's true. Yeah, it was tough.
True, but I can
could-
say the
But
favorite.
it could be a award for the
Things you
worst
hated?
thing. Yeah.
That's true.
These can definitely be hate awards. This is just so we do it. So all three of us,
An airing of the grievances?
pretty much.
It is, yes.
So since anyone who unfortunately has listened to
Wife?
the show before,
Kids, my job, these two fucking chocolates.
good night,
Thank you.
everybody.
Good night. Yeah.
So we
Democrats.
we broke it down into threes because we kind of work in threes here. So three categories apiece.
Mm.
And we all had three nominees in every category, and one of those nominees will win said category.
Yeah, I'm
So-
guessing that this will be a rough draft start, and it will teach us some things for the next
I
go
mean,
round.
the whole year's been by the seat of your pants anyway, so why the fuck
Yes.
stop now?
Exactly.
Yeah, like you said, there's no reason to start trying.
Right.
Who needs that kind of negativity and effort in their lives?
No. But before we start, since this is the end of the year, the only a slightly positive thing we've had for this little thing we do here is we've had a pretty good uptick in listeners and streaming.
When
So-
people can't go or do anything,
Exactly.
listening
So
to us becomes slightly less shitty.
Yes, when the government
So they
forces
finally
you
ran
inside
out
your
of shit
house,
on the internet, huh?
Pretty much.
There's
So
nothing else left.
yeah, so I mean, yeah,
You know what I need? 3 white guys in Metro West talking about
yeah,
shit that I could care less about.
yeah.
Let's do this.
Yes, but even though basically it was a government sanctioned listening upon you.
Yes.
Thank
Thank you, President Putin.
Yes.
I do
So-
appreciate those
do.
that listen.
We do.
I think
We do.
most of you we know by
I'm
name.
Amazed that you have 5 minutes of your time to devote to us.
We appreciate
So
it.
thank you.
Yes. So on that note, Sean, do you want us to go first, or do you want us to go reverse
No,
normal order?
let's
or?
go ahead and do a normal go around.
Let's do it.
So I will choose the first of my 3 Fanny categories, and that just doesn't sound right. But let's see. So the first thing I wanted to highlight, relatively simple and straightforward. My favorite kind of overall content consumption experience for 2020, and certainly. Like most people this year, I think the opportunities to binge or veg out while watching random shit on your couch have been significant. And like most things, I wouldn't want to do anything different at the end of the year, like actually exhaustively research and rate everything I consumed. Instead, I thought about it, and there's certainly a tremendous amount of recency bias involved. But on my way to the winner of the 2020 Sean Content Fanny, which also just doesn't sound right.
Settle in, kids. Most of it was spent in 2014 releases this year. So
This is possibly true. So one
Silver
nominee
spoons.
recently mentioned, because recently remembered, I did finish Ballers, the Dwayne Johnson, The Rock,
Yep.
football, sports agency, business-oriented thing. And I watched maybe more than half the entire series during 2020. It gave me the time to catch up, and
Excellent.
just really loved it. So that definitely ranks up there, even though, yes, it technically was done airing, I think, before 2020, or shortly before, maybe a little bit. Yeah.
a little bit.
Um,
Yeah.
So that's one nomination. The second nomination should appear on many lists for lots of different reasons. Mandalorian, tough to say, more than we've already said, but obviously a massive highlight and a massive accomplishment. Just a fun watch. But what really takes the fanny for 2020 for my content consumption was Watchmen. So again, not actually a 2020 series, I think. But I consumed all of it in one straight binge and just found it to be a perfect mix of storytelling, visual storytelling within a universe that I loved, the Watchmen universe. And it was just so well done, such a great experience. It wasn't screwed by the expectations that Chris set for it in terms of, episode 6 is one of the best episodes, nothing.
Greatest episode of television I've ever seen.
But none of that knocked it down for me. None of my own expectations, right, for such a piece of literature, so the fanny for that particular category goes to Watchmen season 1. Hopefully the first of,
Excellent. And there's nothing wrong with doing the old shows, because I think the number one streamed show this year was something that people didn't know about that started 5 years ago. And that was Schitt's Creek. No one had heard of it. Like I started watching it when it came out, and I think they said that was the number one thing across the board that was binged
People
out.
People definitely caught up on it.
Yeah,
it was critically acclaimed.
That show is the best.
Yeah. That did complete at the beginning of 2020, I think.
Yeah, but it started like 6 years ago. No one had heard of it until Netflix got it this year. So,
well, did you guys watch? Speaking of Schitt's Creek, did you watch the documentary?
Yes.
Best wishes, warm regards.
Yeah.
I never ended up watching it, so we just watched it a week ago, and I mean, it tells you how good a show it was at this stupid, strange comedy. Just a documentary about the final season made us cry, like the entire freaking documentary. It's such a good show. Good call. That should have been on my list, but I'm stupid.
That's okay. I was just saying that because a lot of people got that you have no shame, basically.
He has very little.
I can't withstand any judgment whatsoever. Yeah.
You've seen how he dresses, right?
I'm wearing a FANMEN,
I know, it's very weird.
Jacket.
You're dressed like DJ, and DJ is dressed like you. Except he's wearing the Bruce Arians hat, which is
And I would never wear that hat.
Why to get the glare off my forehead?
I know. It's very strange.
But he does have a Kelly Kapowski Hawaiian shirt, which really is.
He was thinking of the suspenders. See?
Yeah.
I like to put those little thoughts in people's heads. That's what I do.
All right. So what's your first category of fanny?
Interesting. I think you and I are going to go in entirely different. And it's going to be very fitting with our personalities.
Yep.
That, I think I'm going to tend to lean more towards DJs, or maybe even branch further out than some of DJs. I am affectionately going to call my first category the 2020 Piss Missile Awards. There's things that took off like a shot, that were made for the pandemic, things that just highlighted the strength of certain areas. And there you go. We're using, and this can be in just about anything, but we're using one of these things now. Any of these social media, any of these connected meeting type platforms like a Zoom, things like that, which were specifically designed. I mean, this is a dream for things like that. I kind of classified second category is any of your streamers, specifically Disney Plus.
Yep.
Just, again, recency bias because of the news that just came out.
Yeah.
With everything that's going to be done. They saw what they had. They saw the results this year from pumping the original on there. The success they had with Hamilton, Mandalorian, all of that, and said, screw it. We're just going to give you more.
The legendary Disney Vault wasn't actually something they were going to keep everybody out of. Instead, they were setting up timeshare couch seats within it. That you were going to have to rent for the rest of
everyone else's vault.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They own all the vaults. The first thing I thought of when I saw MGM might be up for sale, I go, fuck it. There goes the rest of Hollywood.
What's MGM? Do they own U.S. rights for James Bond?
I think they do.
They do, yes.
Ooh.
And their own back catalog.
They have all your classics, your Gone with the Winds and your Wizard of Oz and all that kind of, all your Metro Goldwyn Mayer stuff.
See,
that's like the golden age of Hollywood in a box, basically.
At some point, we will be the United States of Disney, and then eventually it will be Earth, a Disney planet.
Then DJ never has to travel.
Epcot. Everything is
They just need to come and remodel his bedroom to resemble a hotel room. and he's fine. Give him a churro on the way out the door in the morning. He's a happy kid.
DJ's bedroom, otherwise known as Thunder Mountain.
Thunder Mountain.
Woo. Very fitting with the piss missile.
I do get kind of gassy in there at night, I must admit. So.
But with all that being said, the one thing that stuck out, and it's certainly in my orbit and stuff that I pay attention to more than anything else, was Barstool Sports.
Oh, yeah.
Those guys were perfectly positioned for a bunch of idiots like us to be stuck in our house. They've been churning out all this content for years, and now they're starting to reap the value of it. This is a company that was worth $30 million a few years back, and they ended up selling half of it for $450 million earlier this year.
Not too shabby.
And now the brand is strong enough and it's built off the personalities of the people there.
Right.
There's no special sauce. They just hustle their asses off.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're themselves, and they've kind of branched up. Portnoy's a day trader now, to where he's being put on Mad Money. Jim Cramer's calling him to come in and talk about sports, sports stocks. They did talk about the sports betting because now Penn National bought them, which he took it from like $8 a share to $98.
Yeah, Danny bought a bunch of it for that happened too.
And it's
idiot.
It is nuts, and it's gotten down to the point where, like, kids as young as Harley, 11 years old, they all know who Perez is because they watched a pizza review video, or they saw him. It got to the point where companies started sending things. The impact was really evident when you had random unboxings.
Right.
They started sending him so much shit because he was doing videos at night. They would have 4-hour unboxing videos of gifts people had just sent to him, or companies were trying to get their names out because it was such a powerful brand. It's right place, right time.
And now he's they just got
rocket
on top of like the sports betting thing and the clothing and the pizza stuff and all that. They just started what's called the Barstool Fund, which is, he said, fuck it, I'm going to start raising money for all these small businesses. And he is killing it right now. He's hooking up
$7 million in less than a week.
With just money he's getting from sponsors, like, jeans he wears on pizza reviews, tracksuits and shit. And they're giving the money back to like dry cleaners and restaurants and stuff. And
the biggest dollars, he decided to now cash in on all the people that he used Barstool for prep, like Dana White.
Yep.
And all these big names in sports that have come on the podcast, been part of the family.
Yep.
Dana White dropped $100,000. Edelman wrote a big check.
Nice.
And he has no shame. He's just calling them out.
Yeah.
There was one large Bitcoin investor that dropped $500,000.
There you go.
Just gave him $500,000 because he was involved in that. So no, they're using it for good.
Yeah.
Might not like him, but his heart's in the right place.
We're from up here. We hate the Indianapolis Colts with a passion, and but now because he's tied in when he's on the Barstool stuff, I watch Pat McAfee all day long. He kills it.
Yeah.
So they're doing it's crazy the way that thing blew up from like a couple guys from Boston and a guy from Chicago. On
Deion Sanders. It started in Portnoy's parents' garage, for God's sakes.
So
Deion Sanders left the NFL Network to take a job with Barstool.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
You have podcasters making $10 million a year over there now. It's gotten to that level.
So this is a fascinating subject, but you'll have to forgive me, Chris. I've lost sight of your Fanny.
Barstool was his piss missile award.
Barstool wins the inaugural piss missile award.
Piss missile. Got it.
Excellent.
It took off like a fucking shot.
It did.
Excellent.
Wow. Okay, so my first category is, something that we talk about a lot, food, obviously. It's the 2020 Survival of the Snack Award.
Nice.
So this is so while I walked in my house, there wasn't a lot of variety to the food I consumed.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured the three things I probably consumed the most of, which has led to the spare tire around my midsection. But first nominee is Oots cheese balls.
Oots classic, right? Perennial contributor to this general quality space.
Yeah, I was the Rite Aid supermarket at the end of the street got the big ones for like $6.
That's dangerous, dude.
Yeah.
You could put your dogs inside one of those and they would be very happy.
Yes. Oh,
DJ would be very happy if you put the dog inside.
Yeah, seriously.
If it mistakenly got thrown away.
Yeah.
Bye, Chewy.
The dogs love the big containers because when you shake them into a bowl to get yourself some, one or two always hit the floor and go rolling around. So it's cheese balls for the dogs.
Let the cheese balls hit the floor.
Yeah, with the It's the worst metal song ever.
I disagree.
When you see Sean dancing to it.
I know. So the number 2 nominee is Tostino Party Pizzas. For anyone who doesn't know, like the company that makes pizza rolls also makes full pizzas. I call them cracker pizzas because it's basically a giant rich cracker with ketchup and cheese on it.
Yeah.
I believe they're the same people that make the boxes that Amazon ships in.
Are they?
Similar consistency.
Oh, excellent. There's more tape on the pizza though. Than,
The box is sealed better. no
yeah,
question.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's one of those things like when I lived in Hawaii, they used to always have the grocery on post for like 69 cents. So you'd be like the late night playing EverQuest or whatever. Throw it in the oven or throw it in the microwave. Who cares? Because you're 16 or whatever. Who gave a shit? So they're, but yeah, you can get them for like $1 and they heat up easily. And since I couldn't leave my desk for 3 months and I couldn't go out and get food really, it's a easy shovel down the hatch kind of deal. Because they're not real foods. They break down easy and they digest and everything.
Not real.
They pass right through. It's like chew for the sake. I just needed something to chew on.
Exactly.
I got it.
And the winner of the 2020 Survival of the Snack Award is the Chick-Fil-A Sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
So,
God, yeah.
I don't think I had any this year.
Yeah. So
Maybe one.
Whatever you think about their
Fast food
politics.
all-star.
Yeah, exactly. But whatever you think about their politics and their stance as a company, that's not what this is about. So one thing that
All
Chick-fil-A
I care
did was
about is the food.
exactly. They did
The
a cool
fact that
thing
they won't
where
serve it to me on Sunday
I
is
know.
their loss.
I know. They decided to, when this whole thing started, to do a special where if you worked in the healthcare industry, you went to the drive-thru and you showed your badge, they would just give you a chicken sandwich.
Ooh.
So I ate a Chick-fil-A sandwich 5 days a week, roughly, because I could just run down through the drive-thru and get a free Chick-fil-A sandwich.
That's why your budget was on. Hey, you cheated.
Explains
No, I
so much.
Yeah.
No, I'm a
No?
genius. There was also there was like a 3-week span when McDonald's gave out free like little meals like double cheeseburgers and small fries and Cokes, which was kind of cool. But Chick-fil-A did the sandwich thing from when we got shut down in March to I think like into like October.
That's pretty solid.
It was
Good
free
Lord.
Chick-fil-A. So I had a lot of
My fast
Chick-fil-A.
would not have held. I couldn't have done it.
Yeah. I
No, yeah.
need
So
some Chick-fil-A.
a lot of Chick-fil-A. So yeah, so the
Take a
Chick-fil-A
ride.
sandwich.
Oh wait.
Oh, it's Sunday. So Chick-fil-A wins my sustenance award for 2020.
I like it.
Awesome. My second Fanny category is I'm not sure the best way to title it. Favorite daily tool. Favorite the thing that I got the most like use out of. And there were a few different things that stop the wise ass look there, DJ. And
DJ, you unscrew the cap.
no. So the
Is the Fanny Awards after all?
an example, right? The first nominee was just my multiple monitors, right? Though I am considering going to, I don't know whether Chris, do you have the 49-inch ultra
I have
wide?
a 30.
38?
I want to go to the 49.
Yeah.
The 49 is
Well, then maybe I should
Freaking
buy your
spectacular.
38 rather than go for the 49. But
so. What he's translating into is, Chris, go spend the $1,500 so I can get yours cheaper.
On a curved
whatever you
monitor.
hear and decide to do, I can't affect, but I can benefit from it. But yeah, so multiple monitors. I mean, nothing new for me. I've been as many monitors as I can cram onto my desk type of guy for decades. My normal seating position has 4 across a couple different machines, but when I've been spending most of my time working from home and kind of working in multiple contexts, virtual remote networks and things like that, that screen real estate has been something that I've made ridiculous amount of use of, every hour of the day. The second nominee was something I think I talked about buying. I think it's been a few months now, partly inspired by Chris, but and my wife, a high-end chair, right? I got a nice Aeron, paid something ridiculous to buy it, but it was the type of thing where, again, if you're going to be in it for hours a day, not just occasionally. Having something that makes you happy, makes you comfortable, and is going to last, big deal. So that was the second. But then the actual winner of my 2020 Daily Tool Fanny is courtesy of DJ Gove. The thing I've appreciated the most was the nice little HD webcam that's sitting on top of my monitor here.
Yes. Okay.
Because I actually did not own one going into the pandemic. I had the shitty, it's probably like 320 by 241 built into this ancient monitor, which really sucked, tough to position. But DJ just had a spare one at a time when it would have cost me like $200 or $300 to buy it new because everybody in the universe was buying one. But I literally use it hours a day. Obviously, I'm using it right now with you guys. And, so DJ, you actually share. You may be one of the first humans to receive a portion of a fanny.
I take what I can get.
Wow. Huh.
That's a good category because I actually, now I wasn't prepared to work from home either this year. Granted, I had like the office, everything, but I do need to find a way to upgrade. Like definitely the chair. The chair's falling apart because I only used it to play Warcraft back in the day, and the monitor situations I need to adjust and all that. So that's a good category. It makes you think about.
I've been prepping to stay away from you fuckers for years.
Oh, I know.
I've been bunkering since like 2012.
Yes.
Just hoping to keep you all out,
been
moving
marching
further and
on
further away.
Excellent.
Yeah, there's some of that. I can't tell you how happy I am that I get to go after Sean because he and I took this award show thing
Completely
in vastly different directions. It's good Lord. So for my second Fanny, this is what I'm affectionately calling get some fucking original content award idea. Okay. So one thing that pissed me off more than anything else is that as everybody sat home posting shit ad nauseum online, they beat the same 3 fucking jokes into the ground over and over and over again. Now, to be fair, we have to give an honorable mention to the outgoing president because he does the same fucking thing, but we'll skip that. Just as I'm thinking just GIFs and memes that just come up over, or the same tropes that people use over and over.
Okay.
That just aggravated me after like the second time that it might be amusing. It's first off, number 3 would be the fucking Leo pointing GIF from Once Upon a Time. When anybody thinks that somebody said something smart, I keep getting Leo holding a beer going like this every fucking string.
Yep.
Not terrible, but I saw it enough that it annoyed the hell out of me. 2, asshole.
So wait, is that the one from Django?
No, that's
it's the one from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, the Django one's actually pretty awesome.
The Django one's good. I could deal with that one, but we're very woke right now, so you can't bring Django into play. You can't have slave traders in your time. I mean, you can't do that. Timeline gets all muddied when you do that. This is literally him sitting there watching TV. He's pointing at the TV as he's holding a beer or a cocktail or something like that. But it popped up on everybody's screen. You can't really go through Twitter or Facebook without somebody responding to it using that thing.
I feel left out. I got it. I see it. Yes.
My second least favorite, anybody that uses the how it started, how it's going, and putting the random pictures in there.
I fucking hate that.
It's so fucking annoying. How cute. Okay, I got 2 fucking pictures. Great. Hey, look, you were fat. Now you're skinny. I don't give a fuck. I still don't know you. Keep it to yourself. I don't care.
I mean, honestly, that's my reaction to almost everything.
It's so freaking annoying.
that one's fucking got real.
Why do I need to know
it's
this?
Really
exactly. I didn't know you back then. Didn't care back then either because I didn't know who the fuck you were. Go back to it. Send it to your friends.
I don't care now.
Better yet, text them. Don't post the shit. Exactly. I don't give 2 fucks. And my all-time annoyance for this year was the people doing my plans in one picture and then 2020 in the other.
Oh,
are you the only person that's fucking suffering in this shit? Like, oh my God, you lost something. You can't go to the mall. You can't no shit. It's you and like 3 billion other people on this fucking rock.
I know.
Nobody's doing shit. But okay.
I mean, I almost
You know what?
feel
Hold
like-
on. I'm going to pour a beer for you. I'm just going to whittle my 40 for the homies.
It's for you and Easy. That's what
I
it says.
almost
Oh,
feel
jeez.
like we need two different categories of fannies. One is the actual like favorite or good thing, and the other is the, F you, the
Venom Awards almost.
yeah.
I think they all work.
They
Yeah,
all-
no,
oh,
that
they
was good.
You can
absolutely
lump
all-
it all
yeah.
together.
Yeah, no, I like-
Excellent. So I'll go with a Venomy category after that one. So this is our first sponsored category. This is
Ooh,
the
yes.
this is the 2020 Cialis Boner of the Year award. So this
not
is for
actually sponsored by Cialis.
not really sponsored by Cialis.
Unless you want to.
Yes, unless you
Please
want
make
to.
checks payable.
Yes.
So this is just three complete, like, you can use the term boner as like a what the fuck kind of thing, like what were you thinking kind of deal.
Like in the old Joker boner
Yeah.
panel. Yeah.
So the first nominee is Warner Brothers for deciding to put their entire 21 slate of movies on HBO Max for free, drawing in the ire of every movie maker in Hollywood pretty much, to the point where Sony and Disney can't even field all the phone calls from people that want to come work with them now, including their golden goose Christopher Nolan fucking hates them now. It's hilarious. Hilarious.
You do have to throw them a cookie, though,
Yeah.
for giving the fuck you to Nolan. As soon as
yeah.
he started bitching. They
And
say, you
what
know
is-
what we might do?
We're gonna give Zack the movie.
Snyder's Justice League should really go back into the theaters.
Yeah.
Step aside, Tenant Boy. What the fuck happened there?
But still, granted, they'll be fine, obviously, but at least, once things open up in the short term, it could have some business ramifications because everyone's mad at them.
Yeah.
Patty Jenks is mad at them. Nolan's mad at them. Everyone they had under contract is pissed. And obviously,
That's
it's
the
kind of
beautiful part. Contracts.
Yes.
I know. They have to make
wanna
good
play,
shit for him.
You want to play, Chris?
But still, it's like it was kind of like a what the fuck kind of deal. And that's not even like I know we've talked before about what it could possibly do to movie theater chains too.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
kind of it's kind of
Oh, that's gonna Disney and Warner Brothers or AT&T taking
Yeah.
that stance. It could be
Yeah.
the death knell.
Yep. Second nominee is the team at CD Projekt Red for
Hmm.
for releasing Cyberpunk 77 completely broken. So if anyone doesn't know, Cyberpunk was a game
Well,
that's been in development for years and years and years, pushed
like a
back
decade. It's
yeah.
crazy.
been pushed back forever. And when it finally decided to release this year, after being pushed back to like 2 weeks before it was supposed to come out, it was so fucking broken. Basically, they developed a game for they tried to do too much at once. They tried to make it run on Stadia and every kind of computer and all the systems and next gen and mess, right? So this thing came out for PlayStation and Xbox. If you had an original model of PlayStation and Xbox, the game barely worked. There's all these videos of floating trees. There was an outfit combination where if you had a certain outfit on and got into a vehicle, your character just went like Jesus Christ arm crossed on top of the vehicle, bare-assed.
Well, see, that's good though, because before you do get to pick the size of your cock
You
and
do.
your pubic hair. So,
It's
you
true.
can choose what your Jesus
Yeah.
looks like.
At least your choices have consequences.
Yeah.
To the point where they had to offer refunds immediately. Sony took the game off the PlayStation Online store. Their stocks fell 49%,
Nice.
and now they're getting sued by all their investors for basically lying about how ready this game was to release all these years.
I hope
So, yeah.
Keanu got paid first.
Oh, he got paid. He got fucking paid. I can't imagine what part of the budget was him. So yeah, that was number 2. Because that was a huge commercial fuck up. So
So I don't have time to play a game like that, so I've been kind of sitting back interested
Yeah.
watching what people do because I'm vaguely interested.
yeah,
But I heard something about it working if you have a PS4 Pro but not a PS4
yeah.
and there's no real indicator.
It's-
I actually don't remember. I think I have a PS4 Pro.
You do. You
okay.
do.
You know that. I actually don't.
Yeah. It does run a lot better on a Pro or an Xbox Series X. Obviously on
It
the
does run on the Xbox pretty well.
yeah, and like on Chris with the Series X or the PlayStation 5, it runs pretty good too. They still have things to fix, obviously, but it was marketed as an Xbox and a PlayStation 4 game.
Yeah.
If you have especially the original models of the Xbox,
Yeah.
fucking forget about it
Yeah.
because the original model Xbox is useless,
Yeah, and that
Really
is
bad.
unacceptable.
really bad.
For your advanced decks, your newer ones, it's on par with what the Call of Duty was. There's going to be
Yeah.
patches coming out, but
Yeah.
it was more little glitches, nothing.
Yeah, like on computer, if your save file got over 8 meg, your computer just crashed, and there's
Yeah.
all kinds of weird shit. But yeah, definitely wasn't even close to ready. Probably one of the worst game launches in recent history. So
Nice.
that was number
All
2.
right, DJ, tell us about your biggest boner.
And the winner of the Cialis Boner of the Year award, it's a pair of winners, goes to Bill Belichick and Tom Brady for breaking up the football dynasty. The fact that these two guys couldn't just figure shit out for another year or two and just ride this fucker off into the sunset, I mean,
It diminishes both of them, ultimately.
I think so.
I
Even though
think so.
Tommy fucking
He's
went
he's
ham
doing
the other
well.
night.
Yep, finally.
But and we're stuck with an unwatchable football product up here this year.
And thankfully, the watching is over.
Pretty much. But it just he should never have changed jerseys. Belichick should have lightened up, or he should have had. I mean, I know the owner kind of sandbagged him on the Jimmy stuff, but
Yeah.
I mean, they should have found a way to like each of them give a little bit and figure this thing out. And even if we had to go like one more year or whatever it was, just he should have stayed here forever, and that's just how it should have been.
You wanted him to stay here forever. He was never one of us.
I don't care. I wanted.
He was a
to stay here.
it hurts when the binky doesn't want you anymore. I get it.
Exactly.
I get it.
But there was no need for it to get this bad.
Fair enough.
The actual leaving was fine. You just need to step back and not make rash judgments based on, Tommy had a good half against a team with 0 coaches because the NFL,
Literally.
as they are, 0 coaches,
Yeah.
and half of their defenders out because the NFL is playing favorites as to who they want in the playoffs.
Oh yeah,
What they did with the Ravens and they did with the Browns are playing with no wide receivers today.
yeah, it's
They
fucked
don't.
up, man.
The Broncos played with no quarterbacks.
That was
They
fucked
signed
up
a
too.
quarterback off the street 2 days before the game.
They tried to put their quarterback's coach in a helmet.
We need Tommy in the wild card for ratings. Fuck it, Detroit, you're playing. But wait, they went in.
What?
Same thing with the Patriots. You lost your quarterback on a Friday? Just fly down 2 planes. You'll be fine.
Yep.
We're good.
Yeah, we got fucked too.
So that brings us around to the final round of Fannies.
Yes.
So my final
DJ's fanny
Fanny.
still hurt. Took that Brady boner right up the pooper.
My final category of 2020 Fanny. I didn't realize going into this how I'd end up clearly capturing my year and a microcosm of my life, because all 3 of my categories and what were nominated within them exist and are experienced within the walls of my house only. Like literally, there's almost nothing that involves the outside world. So my final Fanny category is
I'm sorry. I was just thinking 2020 isn't vastly different than other years for you.
well, yeah, that's why it's a microcosm, right? But
I like it.
but that wasn't a major departure from path, right? It was hitting right in the center of the bullseye. So my final category is my favorite toy or distraction implement of the year. And this wasn't too hard to come up with the nominees. I mean, one of the ones that came about earliest in the year was a general home theater upgrade, courtesy of some finagling and trading with a buddy. I ended up with a nice 4K panel for my home theater, which is an upgrade of the previous setup that I had. And I upgraded the receiver, so I had all the 4K. I already had 7.1, but now I had the Atmos setup and a better overall setup. And I upgraded to Roku Ultra and an Apple TV 4K. So I had all the stuff, and that certainly improved my enjoyment of my setup here. Though honestly, the size, a 65-inch 4K, is still. It's not large enough at my seating distance for the 4K to really make a difference. HDR, definitely nice. I have nice controlled lighting, so I can really enjoy the HDR part of it. But I don't get that much out of the 4K. But that was number 3. The other nominee, something we've mentioned a fair amount in the last couple months since I've got it, the Oculus Quest 2, which was an upgrade of the Oculus Quest I got last Christmas. And that's been, a joy in a lot of different ways. I've been using it for exercise. I've been using it to experience a lot of cool stuff. It is definitely, it's just great technology. I mean, it's like the Oculus, the original Quest, the fact that you can have this 3D, fast, head tracking, immersive environment without any wires is insane, right? The Quest just doubles up on that a little bit by making it a little bit lighter, but really it is mind-blowing every time I put it on and just step into an interactive universe. It's pretty cool. But that's not the winner. The actual Fanny goes to
Flashlight.
no, far less sexy, Chris. It goes to my Apple Watch, which I've wanted for a long time. But
Want to tell you about 2014, kids?
It's true. It's but in terms of something, we'll see where I stand at the end of next year. But it's the
like this.
Yeah, exactly. I stand up and dance quite often. But it's the first thing I can point to that has actively gotten me off my ass in a consistent way. Like I've had it for almost 2 months now, and I'm definitely, I haven't lost a lot of weight, but I'm definitely much more flexible. Like I'm just generally more active, which for somebody as old and as, still close to fat as I am, I think that's a really big deal. So I really appreciate it. And I'm hopeful that I can make good on, what I've started with it. So Apple Watch up my fanny. This watch was stuck up. What's his name line?
This uncomfortable chunk of metal was stuck in my ass.
That's right.
He died of dysentery. Give me the watch. I carry this uncomfortable hunk of metal in my ass. And now I gives it to you.
That's right.
Uh,
How about you?
Grab the watch, bedside table, on the kangaroo. Again, I couldn't have a further departure from your straight category. So as I was thinking about these awards, I mean, you watch the news, you're reading online, you hear about all the people suffering during the pandemic and people that are struggling. I mean, we had a big thing, all the unemployment, pretty much extensions went up in smoke tonight. Mm-hmm. But there's a whole category of people or multiple categories that never get talked about. Nobody thinks about these poor people. So I wanted to kind of highlight like the COVID martyr all-stars. The people that are suffering during COVID that nobody's really thinking of or trying to contribute or help them in any way, shape, or form.
Don't be deluded, folks.
People,
this sounds like a warm-hearted, caring.
I care about
I don't
people.
believe it.
oh no.
I mean, at least two of the groups I've come in contact with. The first one probably Sean, but hey, we don't talk about things that happen in Montana. But so number 3, I think when you're a kid, what's the one thing you look forward to every year that would come through town? You always wanted to go to the carnival. You always wanted to play the games, ride the rides. Nobody's taking care of the poor carnies.
Yes,
there are all these sex offenders out of work, can't help anybody. Nobody's thinking about these guys hopping from town to town, putting these ill-fated rides together. Think of the number of injuries that didn't take place this year because there were no carnivals.
Such a
this is a rite of passage. People are worried about Christmas and stuff like that. The kid doesn't get to go to a carnival, for Christ's sakes. It's terrible. It's awful.
I
Next. Second category, we've all been to Vegas. Who's thinking about the poor people that are handing out the nudie cards on Las Vegas Boulevard? These people sitting there slap. You hear it. Snap, snap, snap. Nobody's giving them a cookie. Nobody's bringing them a donut or nothing. They're having to go find work somewhere else. They're probably landscapers now or some shit. I feel bad. They got nothing to do out there. There's hundreds of them all over Las Vegas Boulevard out of work. You hear, there was Who's raising money for these people?
Oh,
Who's
God.
helping? Is Dave helping them? No.
Maybe he will. Huh?
And now the last one, and this is really an underserved group. What's happening with all the sex workers? The Bunny Ranch is closed. I guess if you don't have the people handing out the cards, you don't need the people that are on the cards. You don't need any of the billboards going around.
You mean the people who are at the place that the cards are enticing you to? Let's not.
I thought they came to you. You dial
Honestly,
the number and they
I
show up
don't
at the
know.
hotel.
Depends what side of the street you're on in Vegas.
Next time you go, just sit. There's a bar in Paris. There's like a gazebo bar right where the doors, and you just sit there and play Bought or Not. Oh, there are a couple. Oh no, she's paid for. You can totally
Bought or
see.
Not.
You play Bought or Not. Yeah.
I've never
Trying to figure out. Oh, it's a fun game. It's a
I've actually
good
been to
time.
that bar.
But oh yeah, it's because it faces both doors. If you sit in the right spot, you can see both doors coming in that corner of Paris, and they all have to go right by you to get to the elevator. So I just feel bad for all these people that they're not getting a W-2. They're not making any money, by legit means. And nobody's thinking of these poor people. Open up the goddamn Bunny Ranch, you heathens.
Well, escorts of the world, enjoy your fanny.
Just like the rest of us do. What does that mean? Big heart, Chris. Big
Amazing.
Thank you.
Okay, so my last one is kind of similar to Sean's. I called it the 2020 Shiny Nickel Award. So it's all the things throughout the year that kept me distracted from the shit that was going on in the rest of the world.
Yes.
So the first nominee is the PlayStation 5. Whether it was...
I've heard it exists. Everybody I ask at a GameStop punches me.
Exactly, that's what we do. We have one of those... We have the green arrow boxing glove arrow.
Yes, boing.
So both good and bad. One, it's always... I always like reading about like the new hardware that's coming out. I'm a hardware guy. Keeping tabs on it. There's a lot of bad also that came with it, as everyone knows. Like, just the ill preparedness of people to purchase items or plan ahead when they know they need something.
That's rich, DJ.
The belligerent GameStop workers.
It brought one thing that I found pretty funny about the PlayStation 5 is all you heard was like, these people have these bought things and they buy them all first. It's like, you ever try to buy an action figure or a pair of sneakers? Fuck you. This is not new. I've been doing this my whole life. This is like, I laugh when people say that. Well, the internet people buy them all. I'm like, I do this every week. Every week I have this problem with something. So it's like, but that was one. So, I mean, it was said. And luckily, obviously I got one and it's been fun to play. There's some great games on it. I just got a newer one called Godfall. One of the most gorgeous video games I've ever played in my life. It's armors and big giant swords and all that cool, graphical stuff. So that was number one.
Nice.
My next nominee is the newly instated That Kevin Smith Club that we all have. So while he was locked up, Kevin decided to mash all the content that he has together. So that way we can have one spot to get, all the podcasts and the shows. And he gave us the Wake and Bakes and all the club exclusive content, like content upon content, like almost too much that only Chris Davis could enjoy it all.
I'm not even close. I can't hit
couldn't.
50%.
No, I can't.
No, I can't keep up either. But it also gave us discounts at the stash for shopping since we couldn't drive down there. And then the AMAs, which is like we've had some one-on-one, not one-on-one, but like FaceTime to talk to him, which has been really cool. And
that could have been in the Piss Missile Awards too.
Yeah, I mean he
Somebody
did a
perfectly positioned.
Seriously,
when this whole thing popped.
Yeah, he did a bang up job. Like it was like obviously the perfect time to launch it, but you wouldn't think like, oh, it's just one guy who has these handful of movies. How much of the stuff could there be? Well, every question he answers is an hour and a half worth of content, pretty much. So there's plenty of it out there. And the number one thing this year, the winner of the Shiny Nickel Award that kept me distracted, was the hunt for retro action figures. You had two major lines this year. You had which I've talked about many times, the G.I. Joe retro line from Hasbro and the Masters of the Universe Origin lines from Mattel, which was an amazing thing to come out and kicked up all kinds of like good feels and memories of being a kid and just all the the goosebumps the first time I saw him on a peg, and I've been lucky enough to find almost everything.
Don't go there. You're not going to talk about pegging and fannies. Don't do it, Sean. You're holding it in.
I didn't say
He's turning purple. You changed colors.
A
lot of effort to hold that in.
Yeah, but I've had to put a lot of planning and work into finding these things, so that's kind of kept me distracted. On top of like the millions of hours I've worked this year, that was like my one fun thing I was able to do for myself. So
I mean
great.
That invested effort had benefits for me as well. I had to spend a lot of time managing finances to back up your efforts.
Only $14 a piece though, so it's okay.
Small tickets like crazy, man.
It does. Small ticket items, but I still need one more. There's one guy I couldn't find this year.
I don't think that word means what you think it means.
Potato, potato.
That makes sense though.
Yeah. Hey, Dad, you haven't had the need-want discussion with him yet?
No, I'm trying to go easy on him.
Okay.
Well, that's a nice set of fannies you have there, gentlemen.
Yeah, as you, sir. As you.
Excellent work. I feel like I got the wrong idea.
Yeah, I definitely am left with the impression that I need to come up with better names for my categories in the future. Mine were clearly the lamest.
Well, I was doing mine last night on the couch, and I came home from doing the long, like 11.5-hour shift. I just started drinking right away. So I was
it's better with alcohol. Oh
yeah, this list was definitely brought to you by Captain Morgan's last night. So
Cialis and Captain Morgan's. That's DJ's holiday evenings.
DJ knows how to party.
Is the Cialis to offset the Captain Morgan? I'm trying to balance it out. So
I don't know.
Get back to a normal state.
No, I thought they were Tic Tacs.
I'm not quite your age. So I don't know how these things work just yet. I'll get there in a couple of years.
One day. Excellent. So, yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, this is fun. I mean, maybe next year for New Year's we can do one. We can grab the wives again and have them each do a category 2 or something when we can all be in the same spot together.
Yeah, we definitely.
Hopefully next year we can all be in the same spot together.
Yeah. I definitely would love to do another episode with them. And just other people in general, right? I mean, we had a couple guests here and there, but yeah, I definitely look forward to another year.
Return to normal.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to do a few of these in person. That would be interesting and nice.
Seriously, yeah. I mean, luckily the year's almost over, so hopefully we can look back pretty soon and be like, 2020 can go fuck itself, and we don't have to do this again anytime soon, obviously. So
we'll see. I mean, do you in terms of predictions, anything that you guys think will happen in the coming year? Like, great, we've got vaccines rolling out right now. Be interesting to see what happens there. We've got a new president being inaugurated in less than 4 weeks. We've got, in Massachusetts, we're still looking down the barrel of what, could be a shitty winter. And, so I'm interested in what happens with the financial markets and the world, national security front. Yeah.
I hope it's
better. Giant asteroid,
I'm waiting for the asteroid. So
yeah,
or moon men or some shit. That'll be next.
I'm interested to see. I did see some pictures out of, I think it was New Zealand, of packed malls with unmasked people shopping. Open. They're like, this is what happens when, you actually knock this shit down. Normalcy
they don't have a case in the country.
Yeah.
Not a single case.
Yeah.
Hard to catch it if nobody has it.
It is. So I'm
Maui blood or whatever it is. It's strong. They're warriors. So
I think guys. It's the massive thousands of miles of ocean, in most directions. Yeah.
That helps. I mean, they're pretty much locked away from anybody else, and yet competent leadership. I mean, they were decisive right off the bat.
Plus, you got the Shire, Mordor.
Exactly. And you don't have. You don't stuff 5,000 people in every apartment building.
I mean,
like
dragons aren't
city
going to touch it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. You have all that stuff. So
there's no idiots walking around without masks with dragons flying around.
That is true. That is true. So,
Mm.
but yeah. So, like I said, once Happy New Year, obviously, guys,
Happy
and
New Year.
Happy New Year, gents.
Thank Christ it's over.
We had a nice little award show here, and we're kind of petering out on a down note.
Well, I'm, it would be nice to know what categories of awesome we will be nominating, 12 months from now.
That's the fun of it. You have to experience it to know. What if the Carney show back up? I lose them next year. I don't know.
Exactly. You never know. Things could happen. Chris is just clamoring for
Could be like a
online of
massive
people
yeast
losing
shortage
hands
or
and
something.
Total
And
Worlds
now
and shit.
Exactly. I got to start worrying about the bakers and shit. I don't know. Anything could happen.
I need pizza.
I had pizza yesterday.
Don't fuck with the pizza producers. I'll be pissed.
No.
Mhm.
I had pizza in a long time, like real pizza, not cracker pizza.
Dinner tonight. I can't.
So I had a 25% off coupon for Papagino, so I crushed a fucking large sausage
I don't
pizza
get Papagino's
for lunch.
anymore. They shut them all. It's so sad.
You
I got
miss
one.
DJ crushing sausages
Right in the fanny.
with his fanny. Yeah.
There you go.
With his fanny. There you go.
So everyone, once again, everyone, thank you again for listening this year. Even though you had no other choice, but thank you so much. And,
Thanks for suffering along.
yeah. And remember, if you have any family members you despise, please pass our information along. And and that's help grow the numbers, and will let us do some more stuff next year. So
That's awesome. Happy New Year.
Happy New
Happy
Year,
New
everybody.
Year, everyone.